It is one of those days where I am having so much resistance to doing everything that I know is healthy and good for me. And this happens sometimes. So I thought that I would just take you along as we process this together. I really enjoy filming or recording my own self whenever I'm feeling resistance or whenever I'm feeling stuck in this way, because I like to verbally process what is going on, and that really helps me have clarity in moving forward. So that's what we're going to be doing together in this video today. So I woke up this morning just honestly feeling lower energy. I've been feeling really tired over the past few days. It's really common to speculate why we're feeling tired, things like that. But I noticed that it was actually a problem when I wanted to go to the gym, and I just started to experience like massive resistance to going. Maybe you've felt this way before where you're like, ooh, going to the gym would really be the best thing for me right now, but I don't want to get my gym clothes on. I don't know what workout I'm gonna do. I don't know what playlist I'm gonna listen to. And all of these variables and all of these unknowns make it just so much easier to stay at home and not actually do the things that we know are healthiest for us. This is something that is so common. I used to do fitness coaching and help people feel more motivated to get to the gym and be able to be consistent. And right now we are sitting in the parking lot outside of the gym, so we're definitely going to be going to the gym. I just wanted to walk you along through having this type of resistance, because having resistance is not a bad thing. Having resistance is completely normal. It happens to absolutely everyone. And when we experience resistance, that's an opportunity to pour into ourselves, to nurture ourselves, and to make sure that we are really feeling completely set up to win. So oftentimes when we are experiencing resistance, we're experiencing an emotion in our subconscious mind that is not ready to come out because we're not giving it the space to come out, or it's just not ready to fully come out. So the resistance that I'm feeling right now is just general, what I would call like existential grief, feeling the astrological shifts, things like that, feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I have a lot of things that are going on these days, a lot of projects that I'm working on, and so maybe I'm feeling a little bit of pathological demand avoidance, which so many people experience, and they think that it's resistance, or they think that it means that there's something wrong with them, when in reality, there's nothing wrong with you at all. This is just the human brain, and we're all trying to figure out how to best do the things that we want to do and need to do while working with the brains that we have. So this is how I work with my resistance. When I know that there isn't actually something wrong, there isn't actually like a conscious reason for me to feel resistance, I can know that it's a subconscious thing. For me, I intuitively know that this is grief. Grief can come up in so many different ways. We can grieve old friendships, we can grieve past versions of ourselves, and as we are feeling feelings that is so natural in our human experience, it changes the way that we show up for the world and for the day and things like that. So my approach to overcoming this resistance is rescuing my inner child. Something that I used to do when I felt resistance was just completely like bulldoze through it, just force myself to get to the gym and not think about the resistance at all. And I didn't realize that this was actually a form of self-abandonment. And the best thing for me personally to do, and for my inner child, is to rescue myself and to not abandon myself, not just force myself to do something that I don't want to do, but actually understand why I'm having this resistance, kind of like metaphorically getting down on my inner child's level and saying, yeah, it's okay that this might not make sense to me, why you don't want to leave the house or why you don't want to go, but I'm here with you and I'm here to make this whole experience easier for you. So when I did that, I realized that I really wanted to call a friend and get some support. So I ended up actually talking to a family member, which was so enriching for my soul, but still didn't overcome all of my resistance, right? Because another person can't just overcome these things for us. So it supported me a lot. But the next thing that I did was I grabbed my favorite snack to eat for after the gym. I made sure that I am doing things in a way that I'm not abandoning my inner child. So I'm changing my shoes literally while we're talking this through together, and just making sure that my resistance is being heard. I'm not ignoring myself. Resistance is a subtle way that our inner child is screaming for attention and saying, hey, I don't feel equipped to do this. I don't feel ready. So when I meet with my inner child, I ask, are you scared about the workout? Are you scared about what people are going to think of you, or how they're going to judge you, or things like that? What exactly is it that's bothering you, so that I can speak directly into that? I know for myself, through all of my years of meditation and inner work, that the love languages that I work best with are words of affirmation. So when I can know this about myself, I can speak into that and speak words of affirmation into my inner child and really, really remind them. We had to just change the view here for a second so that I could not have my phone overheat. But the whole purpose here is to just remind the inner child, you are not alone in this. You don't have to be scared. You don't have to like kind of dig your heels in and isolate or just stay at home or something like that just because you're feeling resistant. It's okay to feel resistant, and we're still going to move forward. So I'm putting on my barefoot shoes, and something that really helps with overcoming resistance to hygiene practices, exercise, and health practices is having tools that best support you. I really like the concept of like habit stacking, and when I'm wearing barefoot shoes throughout my workout, my auric field and my body and my vibration is getting grounded, and I'm able to, my physical vessel is able to exchange energy with the earth. So it's not just a benefit that I'm doing the workout, it's also a benefit of the shoes that I'm wearing and things like that. Lately, I've been trying to be a little bit more modest for my gym workouts, which is going to be really hard once it gets to summertime because it is like over 100 degrees where I live. But I work out with a lot of not with a lot of high school boys, but there's a lot of high school boys that go to the gym that I go to. And so I just want to make sure that I am no longer wearing like those little outfits that I used to wear when I was bodybuilding, and I'm really doing things that completely honor my soul and the practices that I'm doing. So I was talking a little bit earlier about grief, and how I know that resistance is a form of grief is because it makes logical sense to want to go to the gym and exercise and do all of the things that you know are going to make you feel better after and are healthier for your spine, for your body, for your energy, for your vibration. It makes sense. But when we feel a pull to do the thing that doesn't make sense, that's where we can know that we're in resistance. And this is like being in a force. I don't know if you've ever had resistance to going to the gym or to doing absolutely anything, but it's like you're like trapped in this force that is limiting you. So the reason I can know that this is grief for myself is because when you are in a state of wanting to celebrate your body and wanting to be an expression of divinity and be a devotion to yourself and your creator and all of these things, you feel excited to go out and exercise and do the things that are a devotional act in those ways. When you don't feel that way, then you experience more resistance to doing those things. So both of those feelings are normal and natural. And we really have to find a way to be able to rescue ourselves when we're feeling in either way. And the goal is not to be able to shift, right? I'm giving myself permission to have a slower day today, to experience grief however I'm experiencing grief, whether it be in resistance or in any other form. But I just wanted to share this because I think that so often, I was taught to just completely self-abandon, force yourself to get to the gym, force yourself to do the things that you need to do, and then focus on all of the grief and all of the other feelings afterwards. And that just did not work for me at all. And it's important to be productive. It's important to get things done. It's important to not let grief rule your life, or emotions in general rule your life. It's important to have your purpose rule your life and to live this purpose-driven life. But emotions still come up in that process, and we still have to work with our emotions in order to live that purpose-driven life. So I want you to know that if you're ever struggling with grief or being consistent, if you're ever struggling with actually getting yourself to do the habits that you know are healthy for you, but for some reason you can't get your physical body to do them, I want you to know that it is not your fault, and it is not something that is wrong with you. The way that our society has been structured, the way that we've all been trained to handle emotions and to handle habits and things like that, it doesn't really work for everyone. And for myself, I learned very, very late in life. For some reason, it doesn't feel right to say that, knowing that I'm still like in the early part of my life. But I learned after 25 years old that I had ADHD and neurodivergence, and that the ways that I had been taught to live are actually detrimental for me, and they were causing more stress and more anxiety. And I was just taught to abandon myself constantly over and over and over again. And if you have ADHD or neurodivergence of any kind, then maybe you experience this as well. Kind of realizing that the way that you work is not the way that the world works. And since realizing this almost 5 years ago, it's like a constant daily realization, daily deconditioning, daily choosing to honor myself in how I need to be honored, rather than the ways that I'm told that women should honor themselves, or the way that people my age should honor themselves, or people in my area, or things like that. And it's really, really important to give yourself that permission to go against the grain of what you've been taught, what you've been conditioned to believe about yourself, about healthy habits, about consistency, and all of this stuff, and to give yourself the permission to find the methods and the ways that really work for you. I did so much coaching over the years. I have worked with so many professional coaches and therapists and healers of all different industries and things like that. And something that is really, really common is that we all want to fix this part of ourselves, right? We want to overcome it. We want to get rid of this part of ourselves. But what I've learned through all of these years of professional work, as well as 20 years of meditation and over 10,000 hours of one-on-one spiritual and holistic healing and coaching hours that I share with my amazing students, I have learned that we need to stop trying to get rid of this part of ourselves, and that this is the part of ourselves that is hurting. This is the part of ourselves that needs attention. It's like a squeaky wheel that needs oil. And when we've been taught to just ignore it, get rid of it, paint over it, we can do that for years and years and years, but eventually you're going to burn out from forcing yourself to do things that you don't want to do. And that's something I experienced. I experienced what I would call chronic burnout, which is not just where you get burnt out once, but it was like every few days I was getting burnt out, because I was constantly having to force myself to do this stuff. So the better option is sometimes giving yourself a little bit of grace, giving yourself a little bit of time, a little bit of love, just as you would a really good friend. If you were with a friend that was having a lot of stress and anxiety about going to do the things that you guys are planning to do together, you would also take an extra 15 minutes in the car with her the same way I am with myself, the same way I am with you, and remind her that this is okay. It's okay to feel this way. And this isn't something that we have to get rid of or something that we have to fix. It's rather something that we need to give more attention and love and nurturing to. So, thank you so much for letting me share this rant. I don't even want to call it a rant because verbal processing is natural. It's a really, really healthy way of handling your thoughts and your emotions and all of your things. And so many people need verbal processing, and we try to use other people in order to verbal process, right? We'll feel like, oh, I need to like talk about this. Let me call a friend, let me complain, let me vent or something like that. When actually there's so many routes for us to verbally process things, to get support, and to not just vent to a friend, but to actually get tools that can help us in the future. So I currently have spaces open in my one-on-one signature program for women so that I can help you feel super consistent and know how to navigate these harder days. Hard days used to be so much worse for me than they are today, and I want that experience to be available to you as well. I don't know, words are like tripping themselves up right now, but I want you to be able to experience that too. For your hard days to not be so hard, for your better days to be a lot better, because you truly deserve that. You deserve to feel connected to your soul and your purpose at all times and all moments and all days. So yeah, I'm really, really excited that I have spaces available to support you if this is feeling resonant with you. And I strongly encourage you, if there are not spaces available anymore when you do see this video, to still check out the description box down below, because I have a ton of free resources that can help you and can guide you and allow you to be even more consistent and empowered in your everyday.